Recently in the UFC, there's been a string of bad matchmaking, and at some point, we need to fight back against the UFC and say no more. Because I don't need fights like Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian after Brendan Allen upsets RDR. I don't need Sergey Pavlovich versus Taliesin Teixeira after Teixeira barely beats Tai Tuivasa and loses to Derek Lewis. I don't need Bilal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim after Bonfim beats Randy Brown. And I for sure don't need Sean O'Malley versus Eamon Zahabi on one of the biggest cards of all time. So without further ado, I'm going to present one fight that needs to be made in every division that will create excitement and won't just be a terrible card filler just there to fill the time slot. Moving on to the flyweight division, we have Steve Erceg versus Loner Kavanaugh. Now I know what you're saying. Wow, really? Loner Kavanaugh beats Brandon Moreno and he gets to fight Steve Erceg now. He has to fight all the way down in the rankings. We can't just fast track Loner Kavanaugh to the front of the line. The line is full. He needs more fights under his belt. With the way the flyweight division is looking right now, Loner Kavanaugh does not have a clear shot at the title unless he puts some names under his belt. Because right now he has Kyoji Horiguchi, he has Manel Kape, he has Brandon Royval, he has Setsuro Taira, he has Pantoja. All of those guys will get a title shot before him. So if he needs to get a good name under his belt, and for Steve Erceg, he needs to get back up into that upper echelon of the flyweight division. He went on that pretty bad run. You can see right there. He had an amazing close fight with Pantoja in Brazil. Just a really back and forth war, gritty performance. And then he goes up against Kai France, gets knocked out. Pretty bad look for Erceg. And then he goes in on short notice against Moreno at elevation and gets 50-45. But with his last two wins, it's looking like he's back on pace. He looked evolved in his last fight. He was a slick striker, and I think this matchup would be fireworks. These guys are game. They'll go at each other all night long. They're awesome counter strikers. And Loner Kavanaugh just needs this. He needs a calm, no power, someone that can't just steal his height by knocking him out in one. It's just going to be a nice, calm fight. And I think for both of these guys, it could do wonders. So yeah, this is the fight that needs to be made in the flyweight division. I left out the obvious one of Pantoja versus Van because, duh, Pantoja needs the immediate rematch. But this is a great matchup, and I really hope it gets made in the future. Moving on to bantamweight, we have David Martinez, didn't know the kid, versus Peyton Talbot. Again, another matchup of two prospects. And this is what we need to do. I'm sick of these prospects getting old heads. I'm sick of seeing Josh Emmett get sacrificed in the Apex. I'm sick of watching Rob Font just get brutalized in front of Apex crowds. It's not fun. I need to watch these guys go at it so I can have a frame of reference in my mind of how good these guys are in relation to each other. This is going to be a beautiful fight. Both of these guys are incredible strikers. Peyton Talbot is one of the nicest kickboxers. He's got sick knees up the middle. He's got a great straight right hand. And David Martinez is slick. He's fast. He dances around the octagon. He's very elusive. He's got great defense. And both of these guys have really good grappling. In his last fight, Peyton Talbot out-grappled Henry Cejudo, Olympic gold medalist. And David Martinez has shown really slick work up against the fence, and I would really like to see these guys go at it. And then after that, whoever wins this gets a top 5 opponent. This is what we should be doing with the prospects. Have them battle it out in the 15 to 9 range in the rankings. Just all those guys go at it, and then if they do good, boom, give them a top 5 opponent. If they're not ready, they go back down and they start winning again. We did this exact thing with Benoit Saint Denis. It worked. Benoit Saint Denis went up, got beat, but then he's already back to the top of the division. This is what we're looking at with these prospects. It's good. It's good to have them go up against high level opponents. It gives them experience, and it's what we need if we want great champions in the future. So, yeah, this is a great matchup, and I'd really like to see this one, especially on like an international fight week card. I think this would be a great opener. I think this would get a lot of people locked in. Moving on to the featherweight division. It's done. It's over. We're getting rid of Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez, I'm sorry, brother, but your time wasting in the number 4 spot of the rankings is over. What has he done to deserve these rankings? What has he done? He loses to Max Holloway. He beats Ortega by injury. Ortega gets hurt. He didn't beat Ortega. He beats Josh Emmett. All right, let's take a look at Josh Emmett's resume. Who did he beat? Oh, yeah, that's right. No one. He beat no one, and he got to fight for an interim title. Whatever. That's cool. Then he loses to Volkanovski because Volk's the GOAT, and no one's going to beat Volkanovski. He loses to Fat Blob Ortega, who hurts himself before the fight even starts. And then he gets to fight Pitbull. Pitbull was like 36. Pitbull isn't good. People just think that he's good because he was the double champ in Bellator. It's Bellator. There's a reason he wasn't in the UFC, because he wasn't good enough. So we're getting rid of Yair Rodriguez. I'm so sick of this guy. Everyone acts like he's this God King striker, when in reality, he blows up for like 30 seconds, and then for the rest of the round, he's on the back foot getting picked apart. And don't even get me started on this guy's ground game. It's atrocious. It's awful. He submitted Josh Emmett. Yeah, so did Yusuf Zalal, and we saw how good Yusuf Zalal's ground game was in his last fight. Kevin Vallejos is the future of this division. Him and John Silva will be fighting for a title in the future, and this is the perfect way to get him into the top 5. Just slime out Yair Rodriguez. I'm so sick of this guy. Put this on a Noche card. Oh, please, God, put this on a Noche card. Make this the co-main event. That would be wonderful. And then in the main event, you could put some Fluffy Hernandez out there. Or even better, Alexa Grasso main event. That's a crafty pick from me. But yeah, Kevin Vallejos, he's on this 6 streak. He's got 2 KOs in a row. I need to see this guy just dominate Yair for 30 seconds and then hit him with a spinning elbow and take his head off across the octagon. Leave him headless in Guadalajara. Little Mexican. I hate him. Moving on to the lightweight division. I've went down on the intensity of the fight. This is a lower stakes matchup. There's not much like rankings involved here. I just want a sick stand-up fight. And this is a sick stand-up fight. Rafa Garcia has looked amazing in his last 2 fights. Like, really good. Insanely, like, technical boxing. Right out of the book. You read that book on boxing, it's going to show a picture of Rafa Garcia. And then, Ludovic Klein, oh my gosh, Mr. Highlight. Who could think of a more fitting nickname for this guy? He's incredible. The UFC decided to feed him to Gamrot for some reason. Really dumb idea. But he just beat Rebeshki in an absolute war. I'd love to see these guys go at it. This could be a perfect featured fight on a fight night. This would be beautiful. I mean, Ludovic Klein is an absolute killer. He beat Ignacio Bahamondes. He beat Rebeshki. He beat Moises. He only has a loss to Gamrot. In Rafa Garcia, his loss is to Grant Dawson on the ground. Again, both of these guys I don't think are going to entertain the grappling that much. I'm going to really enjoy these two trading back and forth. And then Ludwig Klein's going to throw some crazy kick, and Rafa Garcia is going to keep that high guard. He's going to be very disciplined. He's going to fire that right hand. The jab's going to stay in the face. It's just going to be a very technical, slick, awesome fight, and I could definitely see it devolving into just an absolute brawl, because that's what happens when you fight Ludwig Klein. Yeah, this is a sick matchup for me. Everyone should aspire to make a matchup like this once in their life. This is a beautiful matchup. Moving on to the welterweight division, we have Belal Muhammad versus Kamaru Usman. UFC, what are we doing? Dana White, if you can hear me, please make this fight. What are we doing with Belal Muhammad? We're giving him to Bonfim? Like, what? Bonfim has done nothing to deserve this fight. Belal has only lost to JDM and Ian Gary, both of them top 5 opponents in the welterweight division. This fight makes so much sense for a multitude of reasons. The first reason is because these guys have beef. They have beef. Kamaru Usman and Belal Muhammad did a podcast, and they got into a physical fight on the podcast. That episode has never been released. Kamaru Usman wants a title shot because his bum ass cannot fight any contenders or else he'll get his ass kicked. Prates will beat him. JDM will beat him. Morales would beat him. Gary would beat him. Shavkat would have beaten him. He loses to all these guys. He got a Buckley matchup. Buckley was overrated. Buckley beat Covington, and everyone acted like he was the savior of the welterweight division. Get out of here. Belal needs to fight down. He's obviously on this little skid, but look at his record before that. Brady, Burns, and Edwards. That's a good win streak. Those are good names still, besides the Burns win, kinda. So these guys would have an insane build-up. This would be like social media wildfire. The podcast clips coming out from Marty would be ridiculous. And I think it would be a good fight too. We've seen Belal have the ability to take the fight to Jack Della Maddalena. Obviously, he lost that fight, but he was pressuring the whole time. He never backed up. And Usman, we've seen his wars with Covington. We know he has that capability as well. And both of their wrestling is so good that I could see it being stalemated and being like the Covington fight. I just don't know what the UFC sees in Gabriel Bonfim to give him to Belal. Most likely, Belal's going to smudge him to a decision. And it's just going to be boring. People are going to be like, oh yeah, this is why we hated Belal. What's his name again? What's his name? And the UFC with Usman, they need to force this guy to have a fight, or to just tell him straight up, you're not getting a title shot off of a win over Buckley. Look at your last 3 fights before that. 3 L's in a row and a win over Covington. That doesn't constitute a title fight. So these guys need to go at it, and I wouldn't be mad if they got the title shot. Obviously, it wouldn't be warranted because there's people ahead of them, but at least if Kamaru Usman won this fight, I could see the logic in it. Like, all right, he beat an up-and-coming contender. He beat a champ. He is the second best welterweight of all time. It's a legacy fight for Islam. I don't like it, but I could at least understand it more than just getting a title shot off of beating Buckley. So this is the fight that the UFC needs to make, and I don't know why they haven't made it. Moving on. What can I say? What can I say except this is the matchup that needs to be made? Izzy needs fun fights. He can't be fighting these guys that are like mainstays in the top 10 anymore. It's proven after the Pyfer fight. Now we have Joe Pyfer in the upper echelon of the middleweight division gonna never shut up about it ever. I was a top 5 middleweight. I beat Izzy. Pulled him over and beat him up on the side of the road. But now we have this guy in Yusuf Bagari, who is a prospect killer. He's wicked fun. He's a former kickboxing rival of Israel Adesanya. He's a training partner of Alex Pereira. So that story's already there. These guys are both wicked fun strikers. They would have a sick kickboxing fight. And again, Izzy can't fight these guys up at the top of the division. Just give him a few fun fights on his way out, and we can all be happy. Because I don't want to see Izzy go on this Anderson Silva run where he just gets destroyed for 7 fights in a row. Give him this Belgari fight, and then Izzy can retire. It's that simple. I don't know why the UFC treats their old heads like this. Like, dude, Josh Emmett is literally being fed to monsters on every Apex card every, 3 months. Beneil Dariush is getting matched up with KO artists every other day. It's ridiculous. So, this is a perfect send-off for Izzy. This is a great name for Yusuf Belgari to get into the top 10. And it would just be a fun, entertaining fight. It's really not that hard to make impactful fights that make sense that are also entertaining. I don't know what's so hard about it for Mick Maynard and Hunter Campbell. Because, yeah, we all want to see Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian. What are we doing, dude? It's ridiculous. Moving on to the light heavyweight division. It's time, man. It's time to get rid of Rakic. I don't know what Rakic has ever done to be this high in the division. Literally ever. He hasn't won a fight since, 2021? 2020? Just wasting space in the rankings. He's a Yair Rodriguez, a light heavyweight. We have this up-and-coming guy from CKB. He's training partners with Olberg and Izzy. So there's the story there. We could have him get high up in the division, and then when Olberg comes back, there's some drama. Will the teammates fight each other? Will they, won't they? It's at the very least, it's drama, which the UFC needs. It thrives on that stuff. It's what makes the sport entertaining. And I think this is a fight very winnable for Sterling. Rakic, are there any Rakic fans out there? Really? Any Rakic fans that just can't believe that I'm picking Sterling here? Oh, but he has that head kick over Jimmy Manuwa. Shut up. Shut up. And I think this is the type of fight that Sterling can get that statement KO, that one that goes on the highlight reel, just like the one that Rakic got over Manuwa. It would just be a legacy. It would finally get his name up there, and it would be just a way to get rid of this guy. Dude, him and Yair Rodriguez need to be locked into a pod and sent into space. I can't stand these fucks. It's so annoying. Just wasting time. Whatever. Moving on to the least fun division ever in boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA. There's never been a division as boring and terrible as this. Heavyweight. This is the only fight that has any sort of hype on it. But even still, I do not care. I just don't care about these guys. Hokit is so annoying. So annoying. He's like Covington if you gave him the brain of a 4-year-old. He's got an alter ego, and one of them has a mental impairment. And then we have this fat blob with no head movement, and dude, heavyweight might actually be. It's a division full of Yair Rodriguez. It's that bad. I think a division full of Yairs would still be more entertaining than this, even if they would only have one fight every 8 months. That being said, Hokit probably wins this. Salsa Boy, fat fuck, lard ass, taking up the whole division. You suck. I hate you. You're going to get destroyed by Volkov this weekend. and then Hogan's going to put belt ass on you, and you're going to get kicked out of the UFC. I hate heavyweights. Dana White should just cut this for cost and give all the money to Power Slap. Power Slap is more entertaining than the heavyweight division. It's not even ridiculous to say that. It's not ridiculous to say that. Dude, can you imagine what Pereira would do to these guys? Jesus Christ. Anyways, that was a tangent. That being said, those are the fights that the UFC needs to make in every division. I didn't pick, like, the obvious ones, like Pantoja versus Van or Ilya versus Islam. But if the UFC wants fun, entertaining fights, this is the way to go. Just take the path of least resistance. A lot of people would enjoy it. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.